Outside Melbourne, much of the nation starting to get back on its feet, businesses beginning to reopen and trade normally. Employment numbers looking good last week. They were on the rise, as we saw. The unemployment rate down to 6.8%. One prominent businessman has raised concerns, though, about the longevity of working from home arrangements for many, which rose significantly, as we know, during the COVID pandemic. Harry Triguboff is the founder and managing director of Meriton Group, and he argues that at the heart of an economic recovery is the need for people to get back to work and, importantly, back to an office environment. I spoke to Mr. Triguboff earlier and started by asking him what impact the pandemic had had specifically on his business.
We are working, building as normal, except for a few blocks which I wanted to build as service apartments. Now I will build them as normal residential blocks. But our production is about the same. With the sales, the people are very slow. They buy, but they don't pay enough. The demand is very great. We never had so many people coming to buy. But they cannot pay what they used to pay. And that is because many of them don't work now or are affected in many different ways.
Do you believe that Australia has got the balance right in dealing with the health component of the pandemic in relation to the economic challenges that we now face, from debt to the unemployment rate that you mentioned a moment ago?
Right. Definitely, we have it wrong. The figures show that in the nursing homes, where most of the problems are, there are less deaths this year than last year. So I think that we started very well. We got it under control. But then we are all the time measuring how many deaths there are and how many people contacted the virus. I wish they would talk about how many people have gone back to work and how is the production going up. Because really, it's hard to get 100% a perfect result. But the economy is definitely suffering very badly. Now, I'm very much against not the premiers in Victoria and Queensland. That has some effect. But the big effect is that the major companies don't allow people to come to work, even if they want to come to work. Now, that is very bad. We can all say that they can work from home, but I guarantee you that once this is all over, they will mostly come back to the offices. Very few will work from home. Working from home is inefficient. And by doing it, it affects also other industries. Like if you go in the northern part of Sydney, where the offices are, it's completely dead there. And that shouldn't happen. Now, I think that's something we have to look into, and we have to pay attention to that. Thank God we've done very well with the virus from the point of view of medicine, which is very good, but now we have to concentrate on industry and work and results in the balance sheets.
There are some people who believe that the trend of more workers working from home is going to remain a permanent part of the economy. You don't believe that that approach is sustainable?
Well, I'm sure that there will be some people working from home. I'm sure there will be. But that will not be in big numbers, because we need each other. We have to talk to each other. We have to consult. We work together in whatever we do. And by sitting at home, well, you can do some things, but not too many. It will be a disaster if we won't use our offices. We spend so much money on them.
The Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, is working on his budget. It's going to be delivered in the next few weeks. What do you think is important now for our nation, for the economy, to drive economic growth?
First of all, we have to definitely open the borders inside the country. Then we have to start bringing the people from overseas, because now we need them more than ever before. If people don't work sometimes, when we have such a big unemployment, which is rising now, we definitely need more people to come from overseas. With the service, with the apartments, we believe more should be done for the investors, because the beauty of real estate is that it doesn't jump much. It's very steady. And that's what investors want, is a steady return. The other things, they go up and then they go down and they crash. These don't crash, they just go steadily along. He has to also work out how much we can borrow as a country. We always had a balanced budget. We were very close to being even. And now we're going the other way. So it's very, very important that we know how much we can still borrow and how it will affect our credit worthiness as a country. Very, very important.
Can I ask you about one of the sources of the very large tourist numbers we've seen recently? Obviously, international students as well, comes from China. We have a very problematic, a difficult bilateral relationship between Australia and China right now. What's your take on where things are between the two countries?
I think that we are going now better than before. Before, every time we used to say how close we are to America, but we like to do business with China. In Chinese minds, if they do business with you, they're already very close to you. So I think that we should understand that. Now, I believe that we will be trading for a long, long time. I was born in China, and when I was 10 years old, I already saw that we were importing wheat from Australia. We have been trading, and BHP has been trading about the same time. So we were trading for many, many years, and many governments have changed there, and I wouldn't worry about it at all. But we must be strong financially. Now, I'm worried that the way it's going here, we are losing our strength. And if we are weak, then they would like to take advantage. Because believe me, the Chinese people, they adore Australia. They want to come here. They want to study here. They want to live here. I don't know about the government, but the people themselves come. So we have no problem. They will be coming here. And the number of people coming here from there is a big part of the relationship. We have to be careful with the universities because they start at a certain date, and we must try and make sure that the people can come here at that date. I get all kinds of silly figures that there are 85% of the students here, which is wrong. I can't see Chinese students in Anzac Parade, and I can't see them in South Darling Street, and they definitely are not in my apartments. They're very big customers of mine. The very important thing which happened, even though the prices have dropped of our apartments, they didn't work out as bad as it could have, because we were very, very dependent on the Chinese. And now hardly any of them are coming from overseas. I would have thought it would be a disaster, but it isn't. The reason is that we dropped our interest rates so much that really it's now cheaper to buy than it is to rent. So people are buying in big numbers who live here, not only the ones from overseas. So this is a very big plus, and we must use this situation to build more. And that's the way I see it.
Founder and Managing Director of Meriton Group, Harry Triguboff, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.